This is some breaking news this morning per Evan Siddery. I hope I'm saying his last name right. The Hawks conducted a private workout with Donovan Clingan and are showing interest in potentially selecting him. He sourced Kevin O'Connor on this, so maybe it was KOC that had the scoop. So Atlanta, number one overall pick in this draft. We've heard them rumored with Sarr. We've heard them rumored with Reese Shea. Now we're hearing them rumored with Donovan Clingan. He adds, it appears that Atlanta's open to the idea of trading down a few spots to secure Clingan, but the process is still ongoing. While Atlanta's maybe thinking of moving down to be focused on Clingan, we've also heard about a bunch of teams who were rumored to be wanting to move up for Donovan Clingan. The Memphis Grizzlies were rumored to try to go up to 3 to get Clingan. It kind of seemed like if you want Donovan Clingan, and there's a sweepstakes here, you need to be drafting at 3 and go get your guy. So Atlanta's at 1. Other teams are trying to move up to 3. And if they want Clingan, they might have to just take Clingan at 1 here, right? That's sort of my read on this. What do you make of this?
I thought the streets told me that Alex Sarr was him. They told me, like they told me he was undisputed.
What
Like he's a
streets?
hawk.
The Perth streets?
I'm just saying, like this is an indictment on what folks think about Sarr, in my opinion. I know Clingan's great. Like I think Clingan's gonna be a great pro. We already talked about it. Be sure to head over to our NBA draft series. We have a Donovan Clingan profile on there. I'm shocked by this, to be honest with you. And I understand that, what Clingan brings and everything like that, but I was just under the impression that Sarr's potential, Sarr, what he did and dominating some games, especially those G League Ignite games, that when they came and played overseas, that he was a guy that you potentially want to, match up with like a Trae Young and give him a big, but looks like they might be prioritizing Donovan Clingan over him, which I personally did not see coming whatsoever.
Broadly, stepping back, do you think it's crazy to think Donovan Clingan is the best player in this draft class?
Yes.
Why? Because he's pretty much consensus top 5 at this point.
Because I think in given the landscape of the league, right? If you're gonna pick a guy like Clingan 1, you're gonna pick a center 1. He's got to bring more than just what I think Clingan brings. And I'm not saying Clingan doesn't only bring certain things, but like if I'm drafting 1, I need an Embiid. I need a Jokic, right? I don't think Clingan is that.
The thing is, there's no Embiid and no Jokic in this draft, though.
So then then I wouldn't go with a big. That's the thing.
But then who are you going with? Like, you're taking a 6'1" Kentucky point guard that didn't start for him?
I would take Mattis. I would take,
Yeah.
I mean, shit. You want to make an argument for how you feel about Stephon Castle? I take
Yeah.
Castle. Like, I wouldn't go. I'm not going big unless it's a dynamic all-star. I mean, I wouldn't say all-star because I think Donovan Clingan will make an all-star game. I'm not taking a big that high if he's not like an upper echelon, high-level talent big.
Does it change at all the fact the Hawks aren't completely tanking, rebuilding? Because I think, like, if the Washington Wizards were drafting at 1, or even our Detroit Pistons were drafting at 1, I would say drafting a guy like Donovan Clingan, who we might feel is ready to be an NBA starter, it would make no sense, right? Because you're just looking for upside swings. You want to maybe stumble into Sarr or Buzelis or Castle being a stud. But the Hawks have Trae Young. The Hawks have been a playoff team. The Hawks were supposed to have the 13th pick in this draft or something like that. And now they're luckily taking the first player in this draft. But like, they don't need the risk of Sarr or Reese Shea as much as they just need like a guaranteed good center, right? Does that make sense in your mind? Because it does make sense to me, actually. I think I get what they're doing here.
So what you're saying is they're trying to get a more ready player now because the window's now. They don't take a shot on potential.
I think that it's this. We've gone through this with our comps. A lot of people say this. I think there's a really good chance that Donovan Clingan's just like diet Rudy Gobert. And if straight up, if you could get Rudy Gobert, exactly Rudy Gobert, exactly who he is, nothing better, nothing worse. If you could get Rudy Gobert, I think that would be great value at 1 overall in this draft. Like, I think Rudy Gobert would go first overall in this draft. I don't think there is a better player than Rudy Gobert. So if that's who we're saying Klingan really likely maps to, and you're the Atlanta Hawks who think you already have a superstar and you think you're ready to be back in the playoffs next year, why wouldn't you do this? Overtake the dude from France who averaged 10 a game.
Well, what
Like,
does Sar? Well, if you do that same, what does Klingan map to? What if you do the same? What does Sar map to be?
I mean, now we're just doing comps again, but I think there's a lot more risk involved with the overseas guys than there is with Klingan.
I would be I'm in on this move if it's a trade down. Like you said, because they're not in a rebuild, you trade down, maybe get more picks, a player or something, and you trade down and take Klingan if that's your guy. I guess you can't bat your eye at anyone going number one in this draft, given what it is.
Yeah. I don't think it's crazy, is all I'm saying, just given who else is out there. If
So Zach Edey won.
that's the one sticking thing for me. It really is. And I get why Klingan's a way safer prospect, but like if Klingan does really go one, largely for like he's a generational defender. What did Edie have on him in the national championship game? And he's gonna go like fringe lottery.
40 ball.
I really still feel like everyone's overthinking this, but this is a good step towards not overthinking it. Like taking Klingan one, I think, is a step towards not overthinking things, and I like that because
We love not overthinking.
we do. If they trade down, I think they're going to F it up. I want to get on record with that. If the Hawks try to move down here, I think they will completely screw this up, and like the Grizzlies will get Klingan.
All right, and they'll trade down and end up with Rice.
Probably Rice will probably be gone. They'll probably get like Khalil Ware.
That'd be nice.
Watch the Hawks fumble the number one pick and end up with Khalil Ware at like 9.
I like that, honestly.
The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.